This story is based on a real-life incident. The 911 call came in at exactly 1:06 a.m. on October 17, 2021, from a disposable track phone registered under a fake name, made from somewhere deep within the wooded hills of Wexler County, North Carolina. Rural region dotted with decaying cabins, long-abandoned coal roads, and over 100 square miles of wilderness where GPS signals frequently dropped and old legends about the still ones were told quietly around campfires. The call was placed by 25-year-old Hannah Grace, a documentary filmmaker who had been traveling alone, working on a personal project about ghost towns, missing person clusters, and liminal spaces, the kind of forgotten corners of America. Where reality often feels thinner than it should, her voice on the call was panicked, trembling, and she kept repeating, "He's not supposed to be here. He's not supposed to be here," while dispatch tried to get her location, but the coordinates came through scrambled, the signal pulsing between two cell towers 17 miles apart. She gave her name only once before the line filled with high-frequency distortion, a metallic groan, and then silence, followed by 2 seconds of pure static and a final sound, a soft, wet click that one technician later described as like something folding in on itself before the call cut off completely. Within an hour, a sheriff's deputy, a forest ranger, and 2 highway patrol officers were dispatched to the general area triangulated from the towers, but what they found over the next 72 hours defied all logic and remains unsolved to this day. Hannah's rental car was discovered on an unpaved fire road that hadn't existed on any map since 1983, surrounded by 73 pine trees that had all died within the past week. Bark peeled off in spiral patterns, their trunks split clean down. The center, like lightning, had struck every single one of them, but there had been no storms in the area for over a month. Her car doors were locked from the inside, the driver's seat empty. The passenger door streaked with 4 long smears of a dark gray substance that wasn't blood, oil, or paint lab tests later concluded the material was organic, but not from any known species, as it contained DNA sequences never before recorded on Earth, and the steering wheel was ice cold to the touch, despite the balmy October weather, with strange circular condensation patterns on the inside of the windshield, as though something had been breathing onto it in tight, rhythmic bursts. Inside the trunk, neatly packed and untouched, were Hannah's camera equipment, notebooks, 3 labeled hard drives, and an envelope addressed to her sister that read, "Only if I don't come back," which contained a single Polaroid photo of an abandoned house with a black figure standing behind a broken window tall, featureless, and seemingly painted onto the shadows. Local search and rescue teams, aided by drones and K9 units, combed the forest for 5 days, during which multiple team members reported severe disorientation, nausea, and sudden blackouts lasting between 90 seconds and 4 minutes, even though none had a medical history of such episodes. One team's body cam footage captured a moment where the forest around them went completely silent, no wind, no birds, not even the sound of boots on leaves, and then a low rumble echoed in the distance. Not mechanical, but almost like something. Massive shifting underground, and for exactly 7 seconds, every compass and GPS unit in the search grid spun in slow, synchronized circles before resetting. What disturbed investigators even more was the discovery of Hannah's tent, 2 miles from her car, pitched perfectly, zippers closed, sleeping bag unrolled, but no sign she had ever used it inside. Investigators found a portable recorder still running on low battery, which contained a 14-minute audio log of Hannah describing her arrival to a town that's not on any map, where she claimed buildings changed locations between night and morning, where windows appeared on walls that had been blank the day before, and where, on the 3rd night, she saw something standing in the middle of the road that wasn't a person, but wanted to be seen like one, and as her voice became increasingly frantic, She said she saw the same figure outside her tent on the fifth night, motionless, silent, until she blinked and it was suddenly closer, always closer, and at the very end of the audio, there's a moment where Hannah whispers, "He's looking through me," followed by a sound like tearing cloth and a sharp ringing tone that rises in volume before cutting off. Digital analysts confirmed the file had not been edited, tampered with, or faked, but what truly shook the FBI's behavioral analysis unit was that when they slowed the last second of audio to 1/10 speed, layered within the tone was a faint voice, not Hannah's, repeating a phrase in reverse English. "You can only leave if he lets you." 2 weeks later, Hannah's sister received a voicemail from Hannah's number. Though the phone had never been found and the account had already been deactivated, it contained no speech, only 6 minutes of complete silence except for a faint background sound resembling slow footsteps on wet gravel, and at the 5:32 mark, a soft female voice whispered, "I opened the wrong door," before disconnecting. A follow-up investigation uncovered that the area Hannah had been exploring was the subject of a declassified military report from 1977 that described an unsuccessful attempt to build a communications outpost in the hills due to repeating spatial displacement and visual distortion anomalies, and locals interviewed after her disappearance admitted that no one went into that forest after dark anymore because they heard voices, not shouting, not crying, but people they knew calling their names in perfect imitation, only for those people to be safely at home, miles away. To this day, no trace of Hannah Grace has ever been found beyond her abandoned car, tent, and scattered gear, and though officials closed the case due to lack of evidence indicating foul play, those who've read the full file redacted, or not believe something ancient sleeps beneath Wexler County's soil, something that listens when the signal fades, and if you call for help, it listens harder. Emergency dispatch now flags all 911 calls from the region for manual review, especially if they end in static, because on 3 separate occasions since Hannah's case, a voice whispering her name has been heard just before the line cuts out, and each time, the caller was never located.